This New York City party concierge superstar is not only a planner, a creative designer, but the bar mitzvah queen and a very gracious lady. Stumbled to the kitchen, poured myself a cup of ambition, yawn and stretch and
love it.
Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping.
Perfect.
There you go, because I know you are a hard worker, beautiful Michelle. So
yes,
beautiful.
I miss working so hard like that, but
I know
it'll happen.
It will. I know. We will be back soon. But before we start, I have a very special happy birthday to you from your daughter and your family. So we wanted to wish you a very happy birthday for the 14th.
Wow, that's fabulous.
Isn't that lovely?
Thank you.
And I know it's your husband's birthday today too.
Today, yes.
Yeah.
Today.
So happy birthday to Scott.
It is.
And then happy birthday to your sons on Saturday. It's a big birthday week.
We're very busy in April.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're definitely busy.
Well, everybody.
I have a guest here for a second. Come over here.
Oh, do you have a four-legged furry guest?
Yes. This is Buford.
Oh my gosh, Buford! Welcome to the show. Oh,
yes,
he's gorgeous. Oh, what breed is he?
He's a poodle.
Beautiful.
He's my little baby.
Oh.
Okay, now go.
Everybody's wishing you happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Well, I saw that you said hello to one of my oldest or longtime, we're not old, best friends from Florida. And yeah, so
that's lovely.
It's so nice. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. I'm glad they're all watching you today, because this lady is very, very special, Michelle. She is the bar mitzvah party queen in New York City, and she's also extremely gracious. And I know we have this thing in our industry called community over competition, and Michelle embodies that in every fiber of her being, and she was extremely gracious to me when I came to New York to do an event for a client, and she shared with me her most favorite vendors, and I know I've said I can't thank you enough for your graciousness in doing that for me, and I can't wait to return the favor. But in the meantime, I want everybody to know how amazing you are. So
thank you. Well, that was fun because it all came together and it worked out for you and made you not have stress. So that's the best part.
Well, I can't wait to return the favor. But we met because this amazing lady did 2 bar mitzvahs for my very special friend in New York, Miss Catherine Zeta-Jones. Yeah, she did 2 incredible bar mitzvahs, and that's where we met. So I got to see her work firsthand, and it was phenomenal.
And that was a little nerve-wracking for me.
Oh. No,
I didn't know you. I didn't know. I hadn't met you, and I just kept hearing from Catherine, and of course I stalked you a little bit and Googled, but then we met, and it was a connection right away.
Yes, it was love at first sight. It really was. So yeah. Well, how are you doing over there in New York? How's everyone in the industry feeling?
We're good. We're in the hot seat. It's an odd feeling because we're kind of like on pause right now, just for a little bit. Yeah. We did what I guess everyone in the industry did immediately to move all of our dates successfully. And I have to say that it was a giant jigsaw puzzle, but everybody did their part. And as far as my events were, there was no, and people were bending over backwards to, it wasn't like, I'll get back to you. It just was happening.
Yeah. Right. What can we do? Plan the date. Yeah.
Exactly. And it's hard to do that. In my world with bar and bat mitzvahs, different than the wedding world, there's a whole other element because there are events happening every weekend. Yeah. So you have to make sure that someone in your school doesn't have the same date. So all of that is figured out so far ahead of time. And it sounds so crazy, but it trickles down from a synagogue giving you a date 2 years in advance. Yes. And then there's someone almost monitoring, those dates. And then when all of us were like out on our own, to say, okay, I can't do June, how about October? It wasn't this immediate, like I would think with a bride and groom, that you only have to find out from the bride and groom and their family and then the venue and the vendors and make it all happen.
Yeah.
We had to find out if so-and-so was taking that date, you know, and if the photographer was available and those things that, you know, all of us in the industry did. But I feel so, you know, grateful that all of that was done. But now I feel like we're at the point where, from a sitting in New York kind of thing, we're just waiting to hear what type of, and we spoke about this the other day, what size gatherings are going to be allowed. And, you know, often my parties are 150 kids and sometimes 200 or 300 adults. And that's a lot of people, and a lot of people with, you know, staff and caterers and entertainment and photographers and videographers, and all of those people are so important and integral to making the party so amazing. So we're at that point right now where we've secured the dates and are doing the things that need to be ticked off, invitations and figuring out our timeline. And then I think over the next couple of weeks, once we hear what's going to happen,
what's a mass gathering? I think that I think what's unclear to all of us is how many people is a mass gathering. You know, I know it is for the concerts and the baseball and all of that, but for us, you know, 200, 300, 400, 500 people,
right,
in a ballroom.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing that made it so amazing and so special, because as you know, an event, I could do everything ahead of time, and I can plan and I can design concepts and you know, give that idea to my wonderful creative partners in the decor aspect or in terms of entertainment. And all of that's put in place, and we put an A team together, and we know that's going to happen. But the love and the energy that comes into the room really has nothing to do with me. You know, what I do just enhances it. And
and talking of your amazing design company, I see the lovely Jen Gould has just joined in as well.
Hi!
So a big shout out to
perfect
Jen.
Timing.
It was perfect timing, Jen. I just saw her name pop up.
That was perfect timing.
You're getting love from New York and LA here.
I miss a lot of people, and it's great that we can FaceTime and all those things. But you know, like you've said on so many of these lives, this is our hobby also, because we get to live in a fairy tale almost. Like we always operate in happy. So I find, as in my day-to-day, that when bad things happen, as they do to all of us, the up and down is so hard, because you need to deal with unfortunate things. And as much as I push them away, and as my mom used to say, that I, you know, live in my fairy tale world. And hi, Mommy. She's signed in.
Hi, Mom.
And, you know, so it's hard to go from that high to, you know, on a moment's notice, to deal with all the behind the scenes stuff. And what I feel is so hard from a bar and bat mitzvah standpoint or perspective is the kids. So I was reading something today, or watching something that someone put up in LA, actually, a woman that I follow, and she said that, you know, her kids are actually thriving because they have paused and slowed down. And the school that they go to, they don't have to be on a Zoom call, so they just need to get their work done. And she lets them stay up, and she has felt that they almost like calm down a little bit. So I feel like the kids don't necessarily understand, or bar and bat mitzvah age kids at 12 and 13 years old, this is scary and frightening, but I don't know if they understand to the level that the adults are. So they can't see their friends. They all count literally the days
Oh,
a month before the bat mitzvah, a week before the party, a day
yeah.
before the party, and then even post party, they're posting a week
Yeah.
ago. You know, all my little my bat mitzvah girls, the
Well,
girls are
there's
really
so
the
much
ones that
build up
do
to a
it,
bar
are on
mitzvah,
my
isn't there?
Instagram and loving that they're posting things a month out, you know, that they had the time of their lives. So
Oh,
here it was just cut. And and that's
yeah.
where my heart breaks, because I haven't had an opportunity to talk to them. We're so busy with the, you know, nitty gritty of making it happen and putting it together and
Yeah.
assuring everyone that it'll be great. But
Yeah.
it's a lot, and the news is just ever changing. And
It's
but
it's
we're
heartbreaking for
healthy.
them.
It's
Good.
heartbreaking. And
Yeah.
it will be fantastic, and it'll be better than ever. But I'm dying to get back
Back
to
to
doing
work.
it,
Yeah.
as all of us
Well,
are.
they have so much. When you're doing a bar mitzvah, people joining in maybe don't know, a lot about bar mitzvahs. Perhaps there's a lot of build up to it. They have to learn, to speak Hebrew, the Torah. There's so much
Sure.
preparation for these kids to get to
Yes.
that day, and it's
Yes.
such a big celebration for them that to do all that work and then not to have to celebrate must be
Yes.
crushing for them. And then I would think for a kid of that age to wear a mask at your, if that's the way we have to go forward, that's going to be a bit terrifying as well.
I know. I mean, I think a lot of it having to do with our events being pushed to the fall, it's going to dictate what they're doing in school.
Yeah.
So we'll listen to what the schools are telling them to do. And you know, they're still children and they're mischievous, and you know, we have some rambunctious ones that I've
Yeah.
chased out of kitchens and venues before. So you know, our masks staying on, I don't know. It's all too new, and I don't have the answers, and I don't have a crystal
No,
ball. And
none of us do. We
no.
just have to keep planning them and just keep doing what we can do to keep their morale up as well.
Yes.
Because if we just stop, then their party's going to stop. And I think the fun of it is planning it and doing what games are we going to do, what swag are we going to have.
Yeah.
And the wonderful thing about you is that because you design all the swag for the parties as well, so you do everything.
A little bit of a control freak.
No, it's a perfectionist. But because of your background, so you started in fashion, yes?
I did.
Tell me how you got started in this whole industry.
God. I worked for, well, the long and the short of it was that I thought I was going to be in government. I went to college and wanted to be a government major and thought maybe I'd be a lawyer. And I was at Skidmore College, and after my sophomore year, my parents said, not really sure that the law thing is going to pan out for you. Maybe you want to rethink. And I said, well, what would I do? And my mom said, you know, you always love fashion. Why don't you move into the city and go to FIT and see where that takes you? And it was pretty easy to say yes to that. It was exciting. Yeah. And I had actually just met Scott that year. So that was pretty fun also, to be in New York and to have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I graduated and I actually got a job right out of graduation with Anne Klein too. One of the companies of that
one second,
Anne Klein. Anne Klein.
It paused.
Yes.
It paused there for a second.
Got me.
Sorry, we lost you for a second. So she joined Anne Klein, if anybody missed that.
Yes, I worked for Anne Klein. Yeah. And actually at the end of my career there, which was I think it was close to just shy of 10 years, I handled the West Coast, or maybe prior to my last position. So it was great. I traveled all over the West Coast and got to, you know, visit places that I would never have visited before. But it was a terrific, amazing company, very women driven, and people that just stayed there. And it was and I'm still friends with people, you know, to this day. And the camaraderie was amazing, and it was an unbelievable time to be in the Garment Center. And then it just ended up, it was a great company and a great opportunity for me. But I had the opportunity to join my parents' business. My parents manufactured